From the heart of Africa, where dreams are born and passion is boundless, a new wave of talent rises. In La Liga, these extraordinary athletes are not just playing the game, they're transforming it.
The man chasing, it's Lamine Yamal. What a magnificent goal that
They
is!
shine on the world stage. Watch as they redefine football, inspire millions, and make history. La Liga, where dreams become reality.
My name is Faith Dafford Joseph.
Name is Martha Alu.
My name is Victor Arke.
My name is Divine Alex.
My name is Esther Umelo.
My name is Arthur James Bruce.
My name is Godwin Sunday.
I am Ijoma Victor.
My name is Cynthia Agbo.
Josephine Bitru.
I bet you already know that this is
Rapid Television.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live.
Caesar Radio.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com. Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store. Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Caesar Radio.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Rapid Dawn right here on Rapid Television. And of course, it is now time for the big conversation. But first of all, thanks to Victor Ijoma for giving us the sporting update. My name is Victor Arke. Yes, do recall that I started the program this morning with the beautiful Martha Alu, but she's got other assignments that she has to take care of this morning, so she will not be joining us for the big conversation. But however, we are going to be turning our attention now to Makoko community in Lagos State, where there has been reports of demolition exercises. And those reports have raised serious concerns about displacement, livelihoods, and of course, government engagement with affected communities. And we've seen various sides to this particular story. Various individuals have come out to talk about it. But very recently, there was a protest by the Makoko people, and we also saw on the news that the Nigerian police at the time also tear gassed the protesters, and we have Femi Falana who came out to speak. According to him, he said that there was no basis for tear gassing peaceful protesters. That was Femi Falana making that particular statement outside the time. And then he said, going on, he said that he has also been involved in the demolition of houses in Lagos for the past 35 years, and he has never seen anything of this sort. And quoting Femi, he went on to say that the Supreme Court gave a decision 2 years ago that state governments have no control over inland waterways in the country. And so going to any waterfront to demolish or displace people is completely illegal. And of course, emphasis on the word illegal. And he went on to say that the problem now is that the people are not opposed to development, but what we are seeing right now is the Lagos state government. And by the way, Section 17 of the Commission provides that all actions of the government shall be humane. And the big question is, has the action of the Lagos state government been humane? Well, we had our correspondent Esther Umelo, who was at the Makoko community, and she was on ground, and she filed a report on the situation. Let's first of all watch the report that Esther Umelo filed.
This is Makoko, one of the oldest fishing communities in Lagos, Nigeria, currently undergoing demolition, leaving thousands of residents without livelihood or shelter. State authorities say this is for safety and urban planning. But the key question is, what measures were put in place to ensure smooth relocation while minimizing the untold hardship it has on affected people?
This community is evidently faced with multiple challenges: poor sanitation, shared latrines, limited clean water, and many more. But for these residents, it is home, a source of livelihood, the only place they know. With the demolition underway, residents have been left to fend for themselves with no alternative provided. This is Prince Taiwo, one of the residents of Makoko, in charge of the makeshift school and orphanage home. He narrates how all of this started.
The Lagos state government, they didn't inform us. There's not even any written agreement. From there, the case has been in court, and the court said before the government can come here and do anything, they need court order. So this December 24, they came in with their bulldozer. So we are even asking them, what are they here for? They said they're here to demolish all the house on water. Then we told them, how can that be done without giving notice, without any written agreement from the government or from the court? They said there's a man, his name is Oki. They said Oki was the one that sent them here. And they came with a lot of police. The first time they came, they set so many houses on fire right from the beginning, and they started shooting. That's when they started clearing our houses. And we went to Alausa, we talked to them. They were like, they want us to stay 30 meters away from the power line.
30 meters away from the power line. Okay.
So when we got there, they said no, they want 50, and they cleared the 50. Then after that, we went back there, we met Oki, and Oki said from the federal, they said they should take 250, but he begged on our behalf that we should stay 100 meters away from the power line. Okay. But after they cleared the 100, they keep coming in. So we went close to the police and asked them, why are they doing this? They said Oki said they should clear all the house on water. And without compensation, without any alternative.
So the time where they demolish everything, we don't see the place where we go sleep. We don't they go anywhere. We don't they go catch fish. So we don't they go anywhere, sha. So our pikin hungry they catch us. Make the government help us. We go see any place where we go sleep. And then the tea where we go eat. We don't they eat. All of us know they eat. We know they go anywhere. How we go eat? So
we spoke to 13-year-old Clement, who shared his sadness and described how the situation has devastated their home and led to the death of 2 of his siblings.
It affects me too much. It's not be small thing. They have scattered our house. It's not be only one. Like 3 or 4, they have scattered. We don't see anywhere to live. We are sleeping inside boats, like our distance. We are sleeping inside it. We don't see anywhere to live. That's why I'm telling you, say you should help us. They have shoot tear gas, 2 pikin, they have died. If God no help us, like this boy, it should be die. God help us. That's why you are selling me and this pikin here now.
The Lagos State Governor, Dr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, after signing the 4.4 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill into law, said the demolition is being carried out to avert tragedy by keeping residents away from the high-tension wire. But the big question is, what is being done to resettle these residents whose homes are being demolished? Esther Umelo, Rapid TV, Lagos.
Well, Esther Umelo is standing by to join us on the conversation this morning. Esther, thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning.
Very good morning to you, Victor, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We watched your report, very extensive as it is, but of course you were on ground to witness also get first-hand account of residents of Makoko community. Tell us what you observed whilst you were there.
So just like I said in the reports, Makoko is one of the oldest fishing communities in Lagos, Nigeria. And over the years, this is a community where people have, grown to know. This is a community where they build their livelihood. I spoke to a particular man that told me he was raised there. This is a man who is over 40. And he said he was raised there. That is all he has known all his life. He's into, the fishing business. But when I got there, to be honest, I was beyond shocked what I saw. And I was shocked because it's difficult to believe that people actually do live in a place like this. It was as bad as me seeing poop inside the water. You could just see it floating, on the water. You could see people, you could see open defecation. You could see people baiting. You could see people trading. In fact, at some point I saw somebody who was, who was frying plantain inside the boat.
Wow.
And it took me, I was completely shocked with what I saw. Oftentimes we see it just in the news, but this time around I had to go by myself, and it was really, really terrible. I had conversation with some of them. The first person I spoke to, Prince Taiwo. Prince Taiwo is the person in charge of the orphanage home. He's in charge of the school. And he narrated the story to me, how this demolition started. The conversation had been ongoing for years now. However, the Lagos state government decided to implement, even though they had not been given full go-ahead, because when he was talking to me, he made mention of the fact that they needed a written document from the court before they embark on the demolition. And he also went further to say that they were not told anything. They were not informed that they were coming, and all of a sudden, towards the end of 2025. Now, if you and I know that youth out season is when people get to celebrate, when families come together to celebrate and just create fun memories. However, these individuals were denied this celebration because of the demolition that happened. And then the big question, and just like I said in that report, is what alternative,
Hello, Esther?
There was no alternative settlement. They just saw Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, go on, please.
Can you hear me, Victor?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So when I spoke to him, he said no alternative source of settlement was provided for them, which begs the question, how do you go into a community to demolish without providing an alternative, settlement for them? But then, to be honest, Victor, this is not a place that a human being should live. This is not a place where anyone should live. But then it also, relates to the fact that if they had an alternative, if people were provided with an alternative, would they want to be there? It's an ongoing conversation, just like you said during your introduction. Yeah. Protest was held just very close by in Ikeja, and
Hi, Esther. Are you still there with us?
Can you hear me?
All right, yeah, I can hear you. The network, I think, is fluctuating, but I can hear you now.
Can you see me, Victor?
Hello, Esther? All right, go ahead. Yeah, we can see you. We can as well hear you.
Can you see me now? Okay,
yes,
I think
yes,
the network took me out.
Yeah, go ahead now.
Protest was held, but they were dispersed. We had civil society organizations. We had different groups that came out to speak about this ongoing demolition. It is way beyond demolition. Now, the state authorities have said it's as a result of urban renewal plans, environmental risk, public health concern, which is very genuine. Right. However, we're in a country where we do not plan. If you want to do something, I think it's very important that we plan from the beginning to the end, or you ensure that people are informed, people, you create an alternative. So the state government, when he was signing the 4.4 trillion naira appropriation bill, he made mention of the fact that it is for their own safety. However, can you hear me, Victor?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Hello, Esther.
Okay. Yeah, he made mention of the fact that it is, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
He made mention of the fact that it is for their own safety and palliative will be provided. But we should ask the question, why were these palliatives not provided long ago, before you even, ordered for security agencies to get into this place? What kind of engagement was had? Were the authorities, the leaders, did they engage them? How often did they engage them to ensure that no one suffers? The truth is, as much as that place looks very, it doesn't look like a place where a human being should live. It's the sad truth that people are living there. And if they had an alternative, I don't think any normal human being would want to live there. So if you're demolition, the ideal thing for you to do would be to engage them consistently or constantly engage them and provide an alternative. So there are people that I had conversation with, Victor.
Okay.
And they said they don't want to relocate. They want to be left alone. That is another conversation. We know that Nigerians can be stubborn.
Sometimes,
but we should constantly have that conversation about where to take them to. There are thousands, Victor, there are thousands of people that is the only place they've known all their life. And as a result of this demolition, they've lost life. Taiwo told me how 6 persons died. The young kid that I interviewed told me how he lost 2 of his siblings. The truth is, we shouldn't be losing life of people over conversations like this, Victor.
Very true. I will have the Senior Advocate of Nigeria and, of course, human rights lawyer, Femi Falana, saying, of course, that the demolition is illegal. And he went on to say, of course, that looking at the Constitution and the Commission, that, carrying out these acts has to be humane, But whilst you were there as well, how extensive has demolition been? Is it basically about residential homes, or business spaces are also part of this demolition?
So I could barely differentiate if it was the business area but the people I engaged, they had schools, they had orphanage homes, they had hospital in there as well. And all of those places were all demolished. Like when I engaged them, they had their houses, homes, hospitals. They were all made up of wood, obviously. Everything completely gone, completely burnt down without an alternative.
Was it the entire Makoko community that is being demolished, or that was demolished?
No, not the entire Makoko community. There were demolition houses at the waterfront. So the state government said they were going to demolish, houses, makeshift houses close to the power line. And of course, you and I know that when you have houses close to the power line, it is really, really risky. So there are demolition houses at the waterfront close to the power line, and they've also, made reference to the fact that it's about environmental risk and just ensuring that they avert any tragedy that might happen along the line.
When you were there, did you notice the presence of government agencies?
At the time I was there, no. However, when I spoke to Taiwo, he made mention of the fact that they were supposed to have an engagement with, government officials. It was cancelled. And they were left in the dark as to when exactly they would have that engagement. But while I was there, I didn't see any government official, because if I had seen them, I would have, engaged with them on the activity and the plans moving forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther Umelo, for your time. We do appreciate you for giving us your time, of course, insight on the demolition going on in Makoko community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Victor.
Yeah, have a lovely day. Of course, we just spoke with Esther Umelo, our in-house correspondent, who was there live at the Makoko community. And of course, she did a report talking to residents of the community. And if you follow through the conversations, he talked about the fact that the Makoko community is not such a very nice place for individuals to reside. However, there are people who are living there right now. The Lagos State government has come out, of course, to say that they need to demolish that particular place and set up something else entirely, which, of course, they have started doing. Just in a manner of reiteration, they've also come out to, human rights lawyers, activists have come out to condemn the act of the Lagos State government when it concerns the demolition going on in the Makoko community. But of course, as much as possible, we're going to keep you updated on this particular story. But let's go on a break right now. When we'll come back, we'll dive straight into other matters. To stay with us. Welcome back. We're still watching Rapid Dawn right here on Rapid Television. Of course, it is the time for the big conversation. And moving on to other stories, we see that Nigerians are talking about two important issues right now. One is about how we share political power in the country, and the other is about government projects that never get finished. Now we see that former lawmakers are asking for rotational presidency to be written into the Constitution. They believe that this will help make sure every part of the country feels included. But at the same time, the Senate is looking into abandoned and failed projects, worried about public money that has been wasted. But first of all, we've seen that former lawmakers, they are saying again that rotational presidency can help promote unity, fairness, and inclusion across Nigeria's region. Well, according to a report by our correspondent, Nathan Williams, supporters believe that making rotation official in the Constitution could reduce political tension and feelings of being left out. Now, let's go ahead and watch the report, and we'll talk about it after now.
In a communique issued at the end of the meeting, the former lawmaker said enshrining the rotational principle in the Constitution would eliminate doubt, build enduring trust between the North and the South, and provide clarity for future generations. They noted that such a step would promote fairness, inclusion, and democratic stability in Africa's most populous country. The forum further affirmed that, in line with the spirit of equity and national balance, the presidency should rotate to the North in 2031, following the completion of the current Southern presidency under President Bola Tinubu. The former legislators also resolved to support the continuity of the president's administration's reform, stressing that stability and democratic consistency required President Tinubu to complete the full 8-year tenure traditionally accorded to the South. The forum passed a vote of absolute confidence in the Tinubu administration and adopted him as its sole candidate for the 2027 general election.
This summit also speaks to the importance of continuity in democratic governance. Democracy thrives not only on elections and institutions, but on shared values, collective memory, and responsible leadership across generations. Former legislators have a critical role to play in nurturing these values by mentoring younger lawmakers, promoting legislative professionalism, and defending democratic principles at all times.
We are gathered here as former legislators who will go back and educate the voters, because we don't expect all voters to come and sit here. And our royal fathers that are here, it's very kind of you found time to listen to political talk.
We commend our security agencies for their tireless efforts in confronting the security challenges facing our nation. However, we call for greater action. We acknowledge that security is everyone's business, and therefore urge all Nigerians to continue to support the government and our security institutions in their efforts to tame the activities of enemies of the society.
The Minister of Interior, Tunji Ojo, expressed confidence in President Tinubu's leadership, describing him as a leader who understands the essence of unity over ambition or short-term political gain.
He understood the fact that the turning point of every nation is a point when leaders must decide to either live for politics or live for posterity. He understood the fact that it's not about being presidential, it's about being a statesman. He took this decision not just for his generation, but for my generation and generation coming after me.
The forum reaffirmed its commitments to national dialogue, consultation, and peaceful engagement as the preferred tools for resolving political, social, and regional challenges. Nathan Williams, Rapid TV, Abuja.
We're still talking about the rotational presidency. Right now, the key question is, should rotational presidency stay as a political agreement or become a rule in the Constitution? Well, these are the questions that we're asking right now. But of course, we're looking forward to getting the answers as soon as possible from the government. Well, also today, the Senate has started investigating abandoned and failed government projects. Lawmakers want to know how money was spent, why some projects were never finished, and who is responsible. Now, let's go ahead and watch this particular video as well, a report done by our correspondent.
The investigation follows a point of order raised by Senator Abdul Ningi, who described the situation on the Kano-Kaduna rail line as tragic, He told colleagues that train services on the route have dropped to just one trip per day, while cargo travel time has nearly doubled.
Most people come from Kaduna and walk and travel back to Kaduna. The 10,000 passengers they were doing a day was reduced to about 800 to 900. The 10 shuttling that we are doing a day was reduced, Mr. President, 2 times in a day. And I was made aware that while the railway was working on full capacity, they were, of course, creating a revenue of close to 1.8 billion monthly.
Corroborating the concerns, Senator Adamu Alero said the reduction in trips was partly due to extensive damage to rail infrastructure caused by bandit attacks.
It is true that the number of trips has dropped drastically from 5 to only 1. And this is simply because the bandits have damaged the truck and they have vandalized the trucks, and it takes a lot of time and resources, and these resources are not available. As you rightly know, even contractors that have finished their jobs, they are now finding it difficult to get paid. So the same problem is now extending to the services like Nigerian Railway Corporation. We are on it.
In his remarks, Senate President Godswill Akpabio said the challenges are not primarily about funding, but rather the age and quality of the rail network, with some sections deemed substandard. He stressed that a comprehensive legislative inquiry is needed to examine how railway contracts are awarded, executed, and maintained, aiming to ensure safety, efficiency, and accountability across the sector.
We have a responsibility as a Senate, founded in the Nigerian Constitution, to ask questions, to look into these things, and to correct them. We have always said that we're a corrective parliament. So we must look into these things and let Nigerians know where they went wrong. And if there are people that kept the money for us, saved the money for us to buy the second-hand ones, then we get them to bring back the money.
The investigation is expected to cover project design, funding execution standards, and maintenance structures. Abuja, Godwin Amunde, Rapid Television News.
Of course, there was a report done by Godwin Amunde talking about abandoned projects here in Nigeria. As of 2024, we saw that Nigeria has over 56,000 abandoned projects, which was valued at over 17 trillion naira. Of course, come to 2026, we see a list of abandoned projects from the industrial and economic scene, infrastructure and housing, transportation, health, and amenities. And one will ask these questions: what are the key causes of this abandoned project? And the number one thing that always comes to mind is the fact that there's corruption, there's poor planning, the lack of funds, which most times the government says they've paid this money. I mean, very recently we saw contractors in the street of Abuja protesting, as against their unpaid, wages or their unpaid monies, after the completion of some of these projects. But we also have inconsistent policies between administrations are some of the causes why some of these projects are being abandoned even as of 2026. But of course, our fingers are crossed and hopes are high that in the coming months or weeks even, that some of these projects can be revisited, especially to ensure that Nigerians actually get the best out of this administration in the area of health, in the area of infrastructure, in the area of housing. These are things that concerns us every single day. Here in the city of Abuja and in other major cities in the country, Nigeria, the talks about expensive housing has been on the news space for a very long time, where young people can no longer afford to pay for their rent. Not just young people, families are finding it difficult to pay for their rent. And if the government should pay attention to creating housing, it's going to be a lot more easier for citizens of our nation to, of course, afford or even have access to affordable housing. Talk about health as well. In some of the primary health care centers, it seems that they don't have all of the equipment that they need to ensure that people or patients who are getting into the hospital can be properly taken care of. And this is a call to the government, the federal government, the local government, the state government. They all have got to put their hands on deck to ensure that Nigerians enjoy the dividends of democracy. Nigeria enjoys, the fact that we have a functioning government in 2026. Well, we have quite a number of things that we want to talk about, but we are going to be wrapping up the conversation this morning. Do remember that you can be part of the conversation, or you can follow us on all our social media pages across all platforms at Rapid TV. I can get to watch all our episodes on our YouTube platform at Official Rapid TV. And wherever you are in the world, you can get to watch us live using our website, www.arabianradiotv.com. My name is Victor RK, and I'll see you tomorrow.